Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Ooh, wow. Wabiro, wabiro kinaima. Hey. Guys, welcome to the live. My name is Omboy. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yet another day. God, today I'm so late and I am so sorry. Like, wow, 1 hour late. But we are here. We are here. So let me know where you're watching me from. My name is Omboy. Thank you so much for tuning in. Yes. So of course I'm gonna make it up to you guys. Oh God, this is becoming so difficult. Okay, guys, welcome to the live. God, today we didn't have electricity. That's why I'm late. We didn't have electricity the whole day. Can you imagine? The whole day. So when it showed up, I was like, do I still go live? And then I'm like, okay. Sometimes you need to stop looking for excuses not to do things. Okay, so welcome to the live. My name is Omboy. God, today we are talking about pro-marriage or anti-marriage, but basically today we also don't have rules. So welcome to the live. Where is my tea? I'm gonna be sipping my tea right here. We're gonna see what we can do. Guys, welcome to the live. My name is Wamboy. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know where you're watching me from. Which country are you watching me from? When you tune in, kindly like, subscribe. Clara says hi. Hi, Clara. Good to see you. Welcome to the live. Oh, wow. Welcome to the live. How are you doing? How was your day? God, mine was so chaotic. Like, there was no electricity the whole day. It was just like no internet. But we are here. We are here. At the end of the day, we are here. Okay, how are you doing, Clara? Good to see you. Welcome to the live. Purple guy says, shut up. Thank you. Okay, welcome to the live, you guys. Let me know how you're doing. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Welcome to the live. Oh my God. Hmm. Okay, welcome to the live, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Ooh. Joao Pedro says love. Thank you. Zalina says, uh, did you just say shut up? Okay, thank you. Okay, so we were gonna say like pro marriage versus anti marriage, pro marriage versus anti marriage, but well. Mm-hmm. Pedro says G. Okay. Mm. Guys, welcome to the live. My name is Wamboy. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, yet another day, we are talking about pro marriage, anti marriage. So, let me know which side you are on, okay? And also at the same time, let me know where you're watching me from. My name is Wamboy. I was born and raised in Kenya. Yeah. So, when you talk about pro marriage versus anti marriage, okay, I think I'm pro marriage when it comes to the whole topic of uh, pro marriage or anti marriage. So, we were gonna do like two sides. Why do you support marriage? Why don't you support marriage? So that's what we're gonna do. But in the meantime, we are just getting started. So send in your greetings. Let me know where you're watching me from. Yes. So I think one of the things that I can talk about when it comes to like being pro marriage is like it improves relationships. Okay, the moment like you're literally defined with somebody, like literally you're man and woman, you're married, like you have something going on. It's literally like you have something going on, and also it enhances the intimacy, communication, promoting healthier relationships. Godson N says, "Hi, how are you doing? I'm doing great. How are you? Welcome to the live. How is the going so far? How is the going so far? And you know what? It's kind of hot. Okay, we are talking about pro marriage versus anti marriage. Okay, so why would you, if you are pro marriage, why would you support getting married? And if you are anti marriage, why would you support that? Okay, for me, I'm pro marriage because it improves the relationships. The moment like literally you have something defined with somebody, like it's literally so what is it called, rigid, like literally there's no, you can literally walk away, but before you walk away you will always choose to do things, like to literally work it out. Another thing is family centered philosophy. uh so when you talk about marriage, we are talking about families, but when you talk about just having relationships with no marriage, like that is out of the window. Okay. Ooh, guys, let me know where you're watching me from. uh, you are uh, meine wife, meine friend, VS. Uh-huh. You are beautiful, my woman. How are you, darling? Okay. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How are you doing? Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Where are you watching me from? You know what? It's kind of hot. Kind of need to, yeah, where other people? Yeah, where other people? Okay. Yeah, where are other people? What does that mean? What does that mean? Well, are you a German student, or are you a German student? An active German student? Because I am a German student. I do German every day. So I was so excited to see that, like I can see you are beautiful, wonderful. But I never heard the word wonderful. Meine Frau, meine Frau, wie es Dear get shut. Wow. Okay, Chaz. You know German? Yeah, I learn German. No, I'm learning German. I don't know German. I learn German every other time. Okay. Da-da-da-da. Okay, let's do some readers today. Let's do some readers before we continue. Uh, can can we can we speak? Mm, Guten Abend. Guten Abend. Okay, guys, welcome to the live. My name is Omboy. When you tune in, kindly like, subscribe. You know, I was gonna like just go ahead, but my phone is not charged. I have been telling myself that I'm gonna do 48 hours live. I did 24 hours. If I'm, you know what, I can just go ahead and do it. You know, I can just go ahead and do 48 hours live. Uh, Joseph Edward says, hi Joseph, good to see you. Welcome to the live. You know what? But I'm tired. But you know, I can literally do it. I was gonna do 48 hours live. It's just like a little challenge because honestly, I've been working on this YouTube thing for so long. God, for so long. I've been working on it for so long, for a long time. So I'm like, when you do 48 hours, it's kind of like it gives you a chance to be seen by different people. Like you're able to interact with people from different time zones, and that helps. You know what? Let me see if I can do it. But you know, I'm tired, like my head. But you know what? There's no excuses. Maybe I should just go ahead and do it. Like just go live for the 48 hours. So if I started right now, 48 hours, when would it end? 48 hours. God. But I will just like bring you guys along with me. Like just my normal regular things that I usually do every day. You know? I can just go ahead and do it. Maybe. Ooh. Da da da. What else? You know what? Let me change the title of this video to like 48 hours with one boy. You know, and you know what? Because I've been wanting to do it and I keep postponing. People keep asking me, one boy, when are you gonna do the 48 hours? But I keep postponing. You know, maybe it's time. It's time to do the 48 hours. So basically, what we're gonna do is like my camera doesn't go off. So, but you know what? I might also need to like charge my phone because it's not charged. Oh god damn it. Sorry. Okay, guys, welcome to the live. My name is Omboy. We are gonna be doing God, I really you know, I want to do the 48 hours live where like you just go live. It's like a little challenge where it's like because so that you can be able to meet people from different time zones. So I'm contemplating, do I do it right now or do I just postpone it? So that's what I'm contemplating. If I do it, so which means if I start the 48 hours live right now, uh right now it's 9:19. So hey, and I'm literally sleepy. Wow, this is a hard one. You know what? I should just go to sleep. But tomorrow, you know what, guys? Tomorrow we are gonna do the 48 hours live. So the live is gonna start tomorrow and it's gonna end on. Tomorrow is on Wednesday. Wednesday, Thursday. 48 hours is normally 3 days. So it's going to run through Wednesday. Tomorrow is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, so I'm gonna do the 48 hours tomorrow, from tomorrow until, and then I'm gonna end the live at Friday. I was gonna start right now, but then I'm thinking about how my eyes are tired, and I'm like, will I make it? Lol gang says hi to you, welcome to the live. My name is Wamboy. Vicky says hi Vicky, good to see you, welcome to the live. How are you doing? It's been a minute since I last saw you. How is your day going? How is your night? What's good, everyone? We are here. We were gonna talk about, I am thinking about two things at the same time. Start the 48 hours live right now, because I've been talking about, I'm gonna do the 48 hours live. I did 24 hours live previously, and God, I met so many amazing people who are still here. So I was gonna do the 48 hours, but I realized that I've not slept enough. So that's just what asking myself. So how are you guys doing? How are you doing, Vicky? Good to see you. Good to see you guys. If this is your first time ever seeing me, my name is Omboy. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we are going to talk about pro-marriage versus anti-marriage, like literally a little debate. Pro-marriage versus anti-marriage. For those who want to get married, or why do you want to get married, or even if you're married but you are anti-marriage, let us know why would you choose the other side. Okay, let us know. And also tomorrow, guys, I'm advertising. Tomorrow I'm gonna start my 48 hours live. I've been wanting to do so much, because God, I have worked so much on this YouTube channel for a really long time. I just need to put all the energy in. If it's gonna work out, it works out. If not, then I see something different for myself. Okay. Ooh. So pro-marriage versus anti-marriage. Let me hear your thoughts. But in the meantime, let me type some. Okay. We are talking about pro-marriage versus anti-marriage. So if you have thoughts, send that in there. But also we have some readers here, like little readers too. Today I came on here so late. Like when you're late, it's just so hard to catch up and realize where you are at. Yeah, because at this time, wow, we only have like few minutes left to go. But wow, what has an eye but can't see? What has an eye but can see? And I know some of these readers are super easy for you guys. But you know what? Yeah, so now tomorrow I'm gonna do the 48 hours live, you guys. This is literally an official advertisement. I'm gonna do the 48 hours live. So the live is gonna start tomorrow. But this time round, we are gonna be ending at, like, I think every 11 hours. That's a question with multi-layer answer, and those are the multi-layer answers that I was gonna those are the answers that we are looking for. For example, I was saying I'm pro-marriage. I was gonna talk about the way it improves relationships. I think marriage makes relationship better because it makes them more rigid, more not flexible. Uh, it makes the relationship more, you're willing to endure so much, or like to go through a lot. When you're married to somebody, you're willing to go through a lot with them. Okay, but when you're not married, you're like, okay, is it even worthy to go through all of these things? So another thing that I was gonna talk about is like building a family. Okay, when you're married, like, you're literally building a family. But when it comes to anti-marriage, there is a lot of things. There is a lot of things when it comes to being anti-marriage. Okay. When it comes to being anti-marriage, I was literally trying to remember something that I had watched from another lady's channel. uh, she was talking about the way, especially uh, for women, she was talking about male dominance. Now, when we talk about anti-marriage, male dominance, critics of marriage argue that it is an institution which contributes to maintaining a traditional gender roles. Okay, so if you want to like not have the traditional gender roles, like so that you can be equals in the relationship, you have to not get married. So that's one of the things that that philosophers and people who study what marriage is like, those are some of the things that they do say. um, thus preventing women from achieving social equality and reinforcing the idea that women exist to serve men, which in turn increases the abuse of women. They argue that marriage reinforces the traditional paradigm of male-female interactions, subordination of the woman to the man in exchange for subsistence. So subsistence. The traditional elements of marriage have not completely disappeared in Western society, even in the case of employed, highly educated, well professional women. Okay, so Vicky says, I'm anti-marriage but pro-love, pro-family, and pro-life. But how does that work out? How does that play out in the long run? Being anti-marriage and then and being pro-love, pro-family, and pro-life. How does that work out? Because if you are pro-love, pro-family, pro-life, it's like literally marriage is love. Okay, marriage is love. Okay, I think for women, most women, if you were to choose, you are gonna talk about, if you were to choose based on the gender roles and the position of women in marriages, you would choose not to get married as a woman. I think that would be it, because I think for most women, when they get into marriages, it's like, no, you're in a position where like you can only be subordinate, like you can only be subordinate, you cannot be the head. Okay, and nobody wants to be the head. Okay, nobody wants to be the head, but at the same time you want to feel like you are equal in the marriage. So that's one of the things where um anti-marriage people usually, that's one of the things that they normally talk about. um so So another thing, normalization and discrimination. Guys, if you're tuning in, my name is Omboy. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we are talking about pro-marriage versus anti-marriage. Okay, are you pro-marriage or are you anti-marriage? So pro-marriage is like the people who are advocating for marriage. They really want marriage to work out. That's what they are looking for. And then there's the other side, the anti-marriage, where like it's like I can literally see people around, like I can literally date, but not gonna get married. Okay. So another thing for anti-marriage is normalization and discrimination. Mm. Some critics argue that people cannot form an objective image of what marriage is if they are from early childhood indoctrinated into believing marriage is desirable and necessary. Critics of marriage argue that this institution represents critics of marriage argued that this institution represents a form of state-sponsored discrimination in a way generalized in a generalized way against people who do not marry, and in a particular way against certain racial and ethnic groups who are less likely to marry and more likely to have children outside marriage. Okay, Vicky says you don't have to get into marriage in order to start a family. Okay, but don't children need to be in like a stable environment, like a place where they know, this is mom and this is dad. Okay, they can literally know that even if they are not married. Like children can know that this is mom, this is dad, even if you're not married. But at the same time, like I think that's the best environment to bring up children in. Okay, and I am pro marriage. Guys, we are talking about, we have like a little debate on here because I came on late, so we are literally, I was literally trying to make sure that the discussion is like shallow. Okay, we are talking about pro-marriage versus anti-marriage. I'm pro-marriage. I like the idea of marriage, and some other people are for anti-marriage. For example, Vicky says that you don't have to get married to start, in order to start a family. Okay, and so there is that. And also I'm reading some of the other things that people are talking about when it comes to being anti-marriage. One thing is male dominance, another one is normalization and discrimination in relationships, and then another thing is social isolation. Most people who are in a criticism of marriage is that it may lead to social isolation of a person who may be expected to diminish other relationships with friends, relatives, or colleagues in order to fully dedicate to their spouse. You know, and I think that's a real one. For most people, when they get married, it's like you're expected to literally just get over all the relationships that you did have with your friends, that you did have with your family members, and literally dedicate yourself. So another thing, anti-marriage, social isolation. Okay, maybe those are the risk of ending up alone, are not the folk who never marry, but rather the people who chuck all their eggs in one basket. Guys, welcome to the live. My name is Wamboy. I was born and raised in Kenya, and also I'm advertising my show tomorrow. I'm gonna do 48 hours tomorrow. It's gonna start tomorrow. At what time should I start? 7 p.m. Kenyan time, and then it's going to end on Friday at the same time. Okay, so it's gonna be 48 hours. So the reason I'm gonna do that show, because God, I have put so much blood and energy into this channel, and I just needed to like, if it's gonna work out, it needs to work out. Okay, so we are talking about, okay, I was on the points of anti-marriage, why people don't want to get married. So we are talking about also social isolation. People tend to isolate themselves when they get married. And then another one is violence against women. You know, what usually happens to women in marriages when it comes to like people putting hands on each other, you know. Lynn Hendricks, welcome to the building. How are you doing? Are you pro-marriage or are you anti-marriage? Oh, God. I don't know where my handkerchief is. Okay, guys, when you join in, kindly like, subscribe. Also, I'm inviting you guys to my live tomorrow. It's gonna be 24 hours live. Okay, not 24 hours, 48 hours. 48 hours live, like I did the 24 hours one. So yeah, we are gonna see what we can be able to achieve within that what is it called, we are gonna see what we can achieve within the 48 hours. Okay, what's not, why not Joseph Nyambura says hello to you, good to see you. Lynn says like your hair. Thank you guys. When you join in, kindly like, subscribe. We are talking about pro-marriage or anti-marriage. So everybody who is joining in, are you pro-marriage or are you anti-marriage, especially for the young generation? Lynn says like your hair. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, in full representation of an African queen. Okay, Africa in the building. Lynn says, okay, you're so much on point. Okay, so are you pro-marriage or are you anti-marriage? So yeah, I'm talking about, personally, I'm pro-marriage because I see the benefits that marriage have. But also, I think I'm leaning more towards the anti-marriage. And we are talking about things like male dominance in relationships. We are also talking about social isolation. Most people, when they get married, they end up like isolating themselves from other people, from friends. You're literally expected to like forgo your relationships with friends. Another thing, why it leads to, is it anti-marriage or pro-marriage? Anti-marriage, violence against women, the things that happen to women when it comes to marriages. Another thing is, okay, let's read the violence against women. Okay, guys, and remember today that I'm late. I normally go live every day, Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Yeah, and tomorrow I'm gonna be doing 48 hours live, you guys. 48 hours. I did the 24 one and I won. Okay, so I was gonna start the 48 hours right now. uh, okay, I was gonna start the 48 hours right now, but I realized, you know what, I haven't slept. You know, for the 48 hours, you have to be literally ready to be awake for 48 hours. Vicky says, one boy, hold on, hold on, hold on. What does the word marriage mean to you? Marriage for me, it means the union of two people, where two people, a man and a woman, come together. Okay, God, I'm so homophobic. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Okay, but what marriage means to me traditionally, it means where two people, a man and a woman, come together in the union of marriage, and they commit their life they commit their life to each other forever and ever. And it's like, yeah, so that's what marriage is. And I'm so sorry for being homophobic for the people in the chat who literally, I'm not homophobic. Literally, I am not homophobic. It's just like the traditional definition. Bob says people need to take their partner selection process seriously. Okay, what does that mean? I have never thought about it that way. Like, people need to take their partner selection process seriously. Can you please elaborate for us? Because I do believe, like, sometimes you might, but you know what, I kind of see what you're saying, because at the end of the day, like, this is somebody that you're committing to be with for the rest of your life. So also, let me keep reading. When it comes to anti-marriage, violence against women, violence related to women, hey, oh, I'm not even willing to read that. Okay, this is actually something that is from African traditional society. Violence related to female virginity is considered a problem. In many parts of the world, especially African countries, it's socially acceptable for the bride to be a virgin if the husband has sex with his wife after marriage and she does not bleed. Um, this can end in extreme violence, including whatever. I am not allowed to say those words here. The common view of marital life is private and outside the sphere of public intervention allows violence to flourish. And we have scholars such as Elizabeth Brake writes that privacy protects unequal divisions of domestic labor, domestic violence. You know, when so many people go through like domestic violence, and whatever it entails, but they never speak about it because, like, you're just told those are private issues and you never tell anyone what you're going through. Uh, and also exclusion of health coverage for abortion and contraception. Okay, let me read your comments. Bob says, a girl once asked me to introduce her to my ex and family before she considered dating me. A lot of people tend to jump into relationships without background and personality checks. Okay, how do you do personality checks? Because, okay, no, personality checks, you check somebody's behaviors, but how do you do background checks? Like, is it necessary to meet their ex? Because if you came to me and you're like, you want to see somebody that I like, an ex, I would literally be like, are you crazy? Why would I be willing to, why would I want to show you that? Like, okay, so how did you receive that? Did you find it crazy, or did you find it like, oh, okay, you just want to know me better? So how did you view that? Vicky says, what you described is called a relationship union, but it's not a marriage. Okay, fill us in. What's a marriage according to you? Guys, what's the definition of marriage according to you? And don't Google. Say it straight up from your head. What's marriage according to you? What's marriage according to you? Because, wow. Uh, okay, and as you guys type that, yeah, I'm waiting to see what's marriage. And also for you, Bob, I want to know, like, how do you do background checks to make sure that you literally know who this person is? Bob says, honestly, it's better to be seen as crazy than becoming a statistic. Okay, you know what? That one I agree on. Especially when it comes to, like, right now on the page that I'm on, I'm reading anti-marriage. You know, we have pro-marriage. I'm pro-marriage, okay? And we also have people who are anti-marriage. We are talking about male dominance, discrimination, social isolation from friends and family, violence against women. Another thing that, like, people who are anti-marriage talk about is divorce. Okay. Vicky says marriage is a social, legal, and often religious commitment. social, legal, and often religious. Marriage is a contract between two people, usually two people. Oh, usually two people. So it doesn't have to be a male or a female. Okay, I see. So marriage is a social and legal, often religious commitment. Marriage is a contract between two people. Wow, God. But seeing it as a contract is like, wow, no. But wow, interesting. Interesting. Marriage is a contract. Guys, have you ever thought about it that way? If you're just joining in, my name is Wamboy. Thank you so much for tuning in. Okay, Bob, why are you pro marriage? Why are you pro marriage? And as you guys typed that, I was talking about, so we are on the anti-marriage stuff, although I'm pro-marriage, so that's what we are reading about, divorce. uh Modern marriage can be compared to the act of forging professional credentials. He argues that 40% of marriages end in divorce and therefore should be avoided, similar to any high-risk venture. Wow, guys, do you hear that? Let me copy this for you. Control. Uh-huh. Okay. Bob says we stand to benefit a lot from doing life with a partner, especially men. Men benefit so much from for having a partner. You know, when you just get married to somebody, like, you're not responsible anymore for cleaning yourself. You're not responsible anymore for cleaning the house. Also, you're not responsible for giving birth. Like, your work is just to like put this to, like, you know what I'm talking about. Like, I think marriage is easier on men than on women, and I know it can be easier for also women, but I think men benefit more. I think as a man you should be pro marriage. Most of the time you should be pro marriage, because at the end of the day, what do you get? You all get gains, while women, if not careful, you mostly get losses. You lose yourself to these children, you lose yourself to the roles that you play in the family, you know. So guys, you can read what I said. Modern marriage can be compared to the act of forging professional credentials. He argues that over 40% of marriages end in divorce and therefore should be avoided, similar to any high risk venture. God, I've never thought about it that way. Like, wow, it's a high risk venture. This is something that you're risking. Bob says it's difficult for both genders. Okay, you haven't considered a poor married man. Okay, what is it about a poor married man? Because I think a poor married man gets everything. He literally don't have anything, but he gets labor for free. That's one thing, that when a poor man gets married, he gets labor for free. He gets the conjugal rights for free, like everything. He literally gets everything for free. Okay, what are you talking about? Kindly elaborate on what you're talking about. Okay. Oh, you haven't considered a poor married man. Ooh, okay. Wow. God, the poor man. um, okay, so the other point when it comes to anti-marriage, or people who don't want marriage, another thing that people talk about. And guys, if you're just joining in, my name is Omboy. Thank you so much for tuning in. I was born and raised in Kenya, and also I'm advertising my show tomorrow. I'm gonna be doing a 48 hours live, so you better subscribe so that you can see if you're gonna win the challenge. 48 hours live, and the challenge is going to be just putting myself out there to see, like, if we can meet people from different time zones, because when you go live at a particular hour, you only meet this type of people. So I know, because I went live for 48 hours and I met so many people, you know. So the other point for anti-marriage, Bob says man provides, woman nurtures. If you're talking about traditional marriage, wow, man provides, woman nurtures. So what does a poor man do in a marriage? What does a poor man do in a marriage? What do they provide? Like, what do they have? Like, what are they bringing to the table when you think about it? So the other point for anti-marriage is economic dependence. Marriage has been criticized in its complicity of wives' economic dependence on husbands. So, and this one for me, this one is a heavy one. Let me tell you, this one is a heavy one for me, and that's why. First of all, growing up, I never wanted to get married. Like I always, and my dad always told me to get educated so that I never have to depend on anyone. And this one, the economic dependence on somebody, that have been one of the reasons why, like I said, that I would never want to get married, because the economic dependence, the way like a woman depends on a man financially, it literally incapacitates you. Like have you ever had like somebody chopped your hands? Because now you get so used to like having free things that you literally don't know where to start. You don't know you don't know how to provide for yourself. Okay, and then you get lost in the thing. Okay, so let me read this, what it says. Women are more likely to downgrade or drop out of their careers to assist in childbearing, or when their career conflicts with their husbands. Absent a career, women become dependent on legally granted marriage benefits such as husband health insurance, and are thus increasingly dependent on their husband. This dependence can facilitate abuse because the marriage becomes emotionally difficult to live. Okay, and this one is a very huge one. The economic dependence on people. Like I think before you get married with somebody, you should make sure that like you you literally have your things together, because at the end of the day you want to be able to have yourself, you want to be able to got yourself. So I think that's a major loss when it comes to marriage, the economic dependence. Guys, we're talking about pro-marriage versus anti-marriage. So let us know, are you pro-marriage or are you anti-marriage? So I'm reading the anti-marriage, I'm reading the points. So economic dependence is another one that is literally so huge for women, because the moment you don't have your independence, you can easily be abused. Okay, Vicky decided to repeat. Wow. Bob says supporting a family on one salary isn't easy. Okay, but if you still want your woman to have a child, you still want your woman to like be there 24/7. Some of you some men have like a very categorical description of what they want when it comes to marriage. Like they want somebody who is a stay-at-home mom. They want somebody who just wants to stay at home. Somebody somebody who is comfortable, or like who is content with what the husband is able to provide. Vicky says you don't have to get married in order to love and start a family. Okay, you're so adamant on that when you don't have to get married in order to love and start a family. Okay, so how else can you do it? How else can you do it? Because I honestly think, having like children out of wedlock, starting a family out of wedlock is like, no. Okay, so how else can you start a family without getting married, Vicky? So guys, we're talking about the anti-marriage. Okay, we have talked about divorce, economic dependence, especially for women depending on their men so much. The other one, we talk about divorce. We talked about divorce. We talked about, okay, marital rape. This one is always an interesting one. Marital rape. Have you ever heard about marital rape, you guys? In many cultures, marriage has been used to regulate sexuality rather than consent regulating it. That is, non-marital sex was bad regardless of consent, while marital sex was an enforceable obligation. From the mid-20th century onwards, changing social norms have led to, among other things, the discrimination of consensual non-marital sex and criminalization of marital rape. Okay, this one is an interesting one. Nobody talks about marital rape. So that's another anti-marriage. Like the reason why you should not get married, because you're gonna be having marital rape. I don't know why I'm laughing. Bob says in my culture it's a taboo. What's a taboo? Marital rape? marital rape, where like literally you're married to somebody, so you feel like you own their body and you can have it whenever you want to, like anytime, anywhere. Okay, guys, welcome to the live. My name is Ombo. Can we like the live, share the love, subscribe? We are talking about pro-marriage versus anti-marriage. So right now we are on anti-marriage, and first of all, the point that we are talking about right now is marital rape. I don't know if you guys have ever heard about that, marital rape. So apparently it's very common in marriages to have the marital rape. So in various places, men have sexual authority over their wives in law and in practice. The men decide when and where to have sex, and wives have no power to stop unwanted sex. In certain countries, marital rape is legal, and even where it is illegal, it's infrequently reported or prosecuted. Okay, because how would you can you imagine going to the police to report that your husband did force themselves on you? Like, wow, how can you even do that? I don't think it's even possible. Oh, I was referring to kids out of wedlock. Okay, wow. Out here right now it's just getting more common, because it's like we have a lot of things to do. At the end of the day, more people are starting to be like, no, I'm not gonna sit here and be abused. So some people, they don't choose to not be in relationships. They just find themselves that they are not in relationships, and that's it. Like, because you can't force yourself to be in one. Like, that's just what it is. Like, if it's not working out, you can't force yourself to be in one. Okay, wow. God, this marital rape thing, it seems to be pretty common. Like, often married women also cannot stop unwanted pregnancy. Wow, guys, did you know that married women cannot often they cannot stop? Let me copy this for you guys so that you can see what I'm talking about. I don't know if it will be too long for YouTube. Wow, today I don't have moderators in here. God, it's so difficult. Often married women also cannot stop unwanted pregnancy because in various countries modern contraception is not available, and in some countries married women need legal permission from their husbands. Guys, can you read that? Can you imagine? Like, you know that I think we literally should think twice before considering marriage, because can you imagine, like, not having control over your own body? You literally have to ask somebody for permission to even have contraception on your own body. Okay, guys, we're talking about pro-marriage versus anti-marriage, and right now we are looking at anti-marriage. So we have this point that talks about marital rape. Okay, can you imagine? Almost 78% of married women cannot stop unwanted pregnancy. Can you imagine how serious that is? Like, when you get married, you literally cannot decide how many children you'll have, because your husband is going to grape you, or Vicky says, you get together when you love each other. Marriage has nothing to do with love and family. Marriage is there to protect each party's interest in case of divorce or death and legacy. Okay, I think marriage is just a social construct. That's honestly, when I look at it right now, I think it's just like a social construct. Okay, I think it's just a social contract. It's just something that is meant to make us feel good. Like, and now it's literally an achievement. If you're not married before you're dead, it's like, wow, what a fail. What a fail. Vicky says, think more than twice. God, because first of all, I knew marital rape happens, but I never knew that there's a lot of people who experience marital rape. Like, You're not even in control. Can you imagine me not being in control of how I have children? That would literally be suicidal. It would literally be suicidal. Like, wow. Let me copy this other part. I'm trying to copy this for you guys so you can see. Okay. Mm. Think more than twice. Guys, before you get married, think more than twice, especially for women. Have you heard that there is marital rape? Most married women cannot control how many children they have. Okay, that's why I always wonder, like, how can you let yourself have 15 children? How can you do that? But now I see what happens. God. Bob says marriage is a serious business. Your partner would literally alter your life. It should be taken more seriously than a job. God, I see. I see. You know, me personally, I never like look at it in that deeper sense. I know it's like it's like a lifelong commitment. Uh, you know, but I also think when you're 23 years old, you're literally, you don't think deep when it comes to these issues. You do think deep, but for you don't realize the severity, or like how this thing is so deep. Like what you're trying to make a decision on is literally so deep. Wow, guys, welcome to the live. My name is Omwe. Kindly like the live, and also I'm inviting you guys to tomorrow's live. We're gonna be doing 48 hours non-stop live. But because the other time I wasn't able to post my 24 hours live because I did continuously. So what we're gonna do this time round, we are going to be catching it at I think 11 hours. I think that's what YouTube can be able to process. Every 11 hours we are gonna be catching, and then I start another one. So that's what you're gonna be doing. So hopefully I'll meet my people right here, because it's all about building a tribe. Bob says marriage is a serious business. Okay, okay. Bob says marriage locks you both in for the kids. What if you don't have kids? Like, okay. Bob says I'm 23. I think that deep. Yeah, let me tell you, you always strike me as somebody who is like in their late 30s. Wow, I don't know why. For some reason, I thought like you're in your late 30s. That's why you're thinking so deep. Wow, interesting, interesting. Guys, welcome to the live. We're talking about pro-marriage versus anti-marriage. So let me know, what are your thoughts? How are you doing? Where are you watching me from? My name is Womboy. Kindly like the live, subscribe, so that we can have more of this. There's something that I did send there on the screen. Therefore, marriage leads to a situation which allows not only forced sex, but also forced pregnancy. And in some of these countries, pregnancy and childbirth remain dangerous because of of course, lack of adequate facilities. Okay, but guys, can you see? Marriage leads to a situation which allows not only forced sex but also forced pregnancy. Can you imagine being pregnant and you literally didn't want, just because your husband banned you from having any type of contraception? Wow, no. Macha Listen says, I fly with the stars in the sky and I'm no longer trying to survive. I believe that life is a prize, but to live don't mean you alive. Wow. Interesting. Wow, that's a nice one. I could literally borrow this quote. Let me copy and I'll see where I can use it for the future. Welcome to the live, you guys. We are talking about pro-marriage versus anti-marriage. So right now we are talking about anti-marriage, and we were literally looking at marital rape, and that's what you can see on the screen. Like most women in marriages cannot control the number of children that they have, because the men are usually the one who are determining like which contraception are you allowed to have. Can you imagine being in a marriage and having children? You know, now I literally don't blame our parents. You found that somebody ended up having like 10 children. At the end of the day, the husband was the problem. Let me also copy this. I think it's important. The effects of sexual the effects of sexual violence inside marriage can exacerbated by the practice of child marriage. In 2013, an 8-year-old, guys, listen to this. In 2013, an 8-year-old Yemeni girl died from internal bleeding after she was raped by her 40-year-old new husband. God, can you imagine? What? What? Why? And you know, like, first of all, I have never understood the communities that have always allowed like child marriage. Literally, I have never understood that, because I'm like, can you imagine? Can you imagine that? But you know, it happens. It happens. It's not new, especially in African societies. Like, it was literally new to be booked as a child. Wow, can you imagine that? Okay, I did send to you so that you guys can. Guys, we are talking about pro marriage versus anti marriage. Right now we were at marital rape. Some of the reasons why people who are anti marriage, some of the things that they talk about, marital rape. So something else. Mhm. Okay, state control. So another thing, anti-marriage, a criticism of marriage is that it gives the state, so state control, like the country can be able to control you guys when you're married. Marriage gives the state undue power and control over the private lives of the citizens. The status governing marriage are drafted by the state. Okay, the rules. Uh, Jenga says, my future wife, how are you doing? Beautiful. I'm not your future wife, but I'm doing great, okay? I'm engaged, you guys. I'm engaged, okay? Mm-hmm. So according to this, what we are talking about, state control. The state normally develop or make the rules that govern marriage. Like, how can you get married? What happens when you're married and stuff like that. Of course, the government makes these rules. Okay. I saw the other day here in Kenya, because of course, you know, abortion is illegal in Kenya. So the other day there was a parliamentary debate that was going on. Okay, you decided to call me. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. So there was a debate that was going on talking about why like abortion should be legalized in Kenya. Okay, so you can see, like, literally we have men who are seated in offices in the parliamentary building trying to talk about why it shouldn't be allowed, why abortion shouldn't be allowed for women. Okay, so we have men who are just seated, they have never undergone through what pregnancy is like. People who don't know what pregnancy is like, they are out there making laws and rules about what marriage is like, what all of these things. So according to this person, like, also the state gets control over you. Vicky says, Wambo, your future husband is in the child. No. No, 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 he's not. Okay. uh Violence against. So, and then the other one, of course, the most obvious one is violence against women. Okay, God, let me tell you, this one scared me growing up. Okay, this one did scare me growing up. The violence against women, the domestic violence, it have always scared me when it comes to like marriage. Like, I can't believe like somebody can put their hands on you, literally. Somebody can literally put their hands on you just because that they are your husband. Like, somebody have a right over you, they can literally beat the crap out of you, and nothing happens. Nothing happens to them because they are your husband. Okay, Chebandeke James says, Habari Womboy. I'm good. Good to see you. Welcome to the live. Nice hair. Thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. When you tune in, like the live. Tomorrow we are gonna be doing 48 hours live, guys. You make sure that you show up. We're gonna start at 7 p.m. Kenyan time, which is literally like 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So convert that to your local time and you literally will find me here. We're going to be doing 48 hours, but the way we are going to do it, because last time I went live for 48 hours, no, 24 hours, but I wasn't able to save the video because YouTube can't save that long. So we are going to be doing 11 hours and then we cut, we start over again. So yeah, this is just me. You know, I have wanted to do this YouTube stuff and like, I'm not trying to like quit before I get there. So maybe that's what I need to be doing. Okay, so we are talking about pro-marriage versus anti-marriage. Pro-marriage versus anti-marriage. So we are talking about violence against women. Okay, this one is so hard. Okay, got this a thing here that says say no to dowry. Okay, wow, you know what, first of all, for the first time, guys, what do you think about dowry? Especially in African countries, it's pretty common. What do you guys, what is your honest opinion about dowry? What is your honest opinion about dowry? Okay, because I'm about to read something to you. I've always thought like I've always thought like dowry should literally be illegal. Why do you want to sell your kid to somebody? Why do you want to do that? Like, you sell your kid to somebody and maybe at the end of the day you can't be able to give them back whatever they brought to you. So which means your daughter is gonna be out there being abused. They are gonna be out there doing all those things. So guys, honestly, I'm asking this because I honestly have a very strong opinion. What do you guys think about dowry? Bob says African cultures used to be more pro women or colonization. I don't understand. Can you maybe clarify what you were talking about? Guys, what do you think about dowry? Let me type that. What do you think about dowry? Gosh, this one we have to talk about. What do you think about dowry? Guys, honestly, what do you guys think about dowry? I think I'm gonna go first. I think dowry is such an inhumane practice, and I know it's like you're appreciating the girl's family, but at the same time, the man and the woman are coming together and they are literally building a family together. So which means if it's to pay dowry, both sides should pay dowry to the parents. Okay, so talking about like paying dowry for the lady, for me it's just like, I think it's just one of the that's one of the inhumane thing that have ever happened to humanity. Selling their girls, you sell your precious little girl to a man, and then at the end of the day, when this girl is being abused by this man, she literally cannot come home because you sold her. Okay, I have always said, and I come from a community where like dowry is literally a must. Like, there's no exception. Dowry is literally a must. But I've always said like, I literally don't want anybody to pay my dowry because I want to be able to go home anytime without having anybody's debt. Okay. Bob says, I wouldn't want to sell my daughter to a man. You know, I always said that the whole tradition of, I hope I'm live. My internet is just a scam. Okay. I always say that like the whole tradition of dowry is gonna end with me. Like I was saying that I will not be sold and nobody will sell my child if I ever have a child. Like, I always say that because I just don't understand the concept of dowry. I know it's appreciation, but it doesn't make sense to me. Bob says, I understand the concept of it. It meant to prove the man is capable. Okay, and that is it. It's like proving, but at the same time, it has caused so much damage. So let me read this to you. Say no to dowry. Okay, human values have lost their meaning due to the to the barter of dowry, like barter trade. Material culture and lifestyle have eroded ethical values and robbed of mutual love between human beings. Dowry deaths and suicides have catapulted our social life, leading to many social problems and rise in crime rates. Okay, because of dowry. Okay, so this is literally like a what is it called? Like a card saying not to dowry. Like you see, like these things that we normally that activists put out there, saying not to dowry. And you know what? I will literally say not to dowry anytime. I'm not even lying. I will literally say not to dowry anytime because I just feel like it's just uh this crazy thing. Like, why would you want to sell your child? Why would you literally want to sell your child? So that's literally the question. So okay, so pro-marriage versus anti-marriage. So let's wind up because of course we are running out of time also. And guys, make sure you come back tomorrow. Tomorrow we're gonna be doing 48 hours. So we are not gonna have a topic. We are not gonna have a topic. So it's just literally a day in the life with me. I'm gonna bring you guys with me to like what I normally do during the day and stuff like that. So the other thing when it comes to anti-marriage, okay, we have feminists. Okay, we have a lot of feminists. Let us read feminists as we close up on this one. So according to feminist people, marriage is a focus. Uh-huh. One of these many cultural concerns include that the fact that within many marriages, women are generally expected to do most of the work in the home, even if they had careers outside the home. A more economic concern is that marriage may also foster economic dependence, since women's work is underpaid and women are expected to downgrade their careers when their careers conflict with their husbands or with work in the home. Without appropriate finances, women can become dependent on their husband's marriage benefits like health insurance. Okay, so according to feminists, marriage most of the time it kind of like incapacitates a woman. Okay, before you meet somebody, you are ambitious. You literally had a lot of things that you want to go forward to, things that you want to achieve, but you cannot literally go after them because you're married. Okay, Sheila Cranon said that the freedom for women cannot be won without the abolition of marriage. Hey, I think this is what we are gonna be closing is the freedom for women cannot be won without the abolition of marriage. Wow. Okay, but remember guys, I'm pro marriage, but all of these things, god, I think I agree with most of them. Does that make me an anti-marriage because I agree with most of them? Oh, so guys, we are literally winding up. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Control V. Bob says, the problem is these statements are applied too broadly. Different cultures have treated marriages differently. But most cultures, I know the Western culture, let me tell you, that's why I like the Western culture so much. They don't have the whole dowry thing. It's like, you want to marry my daughter? Thank you. I bless you guys. Go start a life and that's it. I think that's what it should be like. The whole thing of like buying and selling of human beings, like the whole dowry thing, it literally should be abolished. It's something that downgrades a woman to an object, like can be bought and sold. Like it literally downgrades a woman to a livestock. Okay, Sheila Cronin said that the freedom of women cannot be won without the abolition of marriage. The freedom for women cannot be won without the abolition for marriage. Bob says, like the dowry thing, there are cultures here in Nigeria where it's used to organize the marriage as opposed to paying for the woman. Organize the marriage as opposed to paying for the woman. Here in Nigeria where it's used to organize the marriage as opposed to paying for the woman. Like they organize the marriage, what does that mean? Like okay, you organize the marriage, so which means the people who are getting married have no idea, but uh okay, okay, I understand that. Like there's arranged marriages. They call arranged marriages. Like you don't choose to be in that part. You don't choose to be married to this person. You are just, maybe your parents organize for you to be in the marriage. Wow, interesting. Interesting to see it that way. Okay, so I don't know, I think we even don't have a conclusion when it comes to this topic. Like the dowry is used to pay for the marriage ceremony. Oh, okay, the dowry is used to pay for the marriage ceremony. Interesting. That could be a nice one. That could be a nice one. But out here, no, the dowry has nothing to do with the marriage ceremony. You have to pay the dowry before you have the marriage ceremony. Okay, so otherwise you can stay with somebody without getting married. Okay, you cannot do a legal wedding or like a church wedding without first of all paying the dowry in full. Okay, I've always been like, I will not pay. I told my mom, like, I will not be paying any dowry to her. Okay, and I know I'm not the one who's gonna be paying, but it was because for me it's just so annoying. It's just so annoying. I can see the reason for having dowry. Okay, so you guys, thank you for hanging around with me. I was gonna do the 48 hours today, but honestly, I literally need rest. So planning so that like when I come on here 48 hours live, I'm gonna be doing 48 hours live tomorrow, guys. So stay tuned. See you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Let me tell you, it's been such a hard time for me. Like I've been going through stuff. So you guys, thank you so much coming on here and like still receiving the love and support from you guys. Literally means the world to me. So you guys, I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow same time. It's gonna be, we usually go like 5 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So this time round is gonna be 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. So convert that to your local time and you're gonna find me live on here and we're gonna do the 48 hours because we can literally do anything that we set our eyes on. Okay, so this is your challenge. If you want to do something, just go for it. You never know, because I don't know. Okay, so you guys, I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. So until next time, have a good day, have a good night, good morning, good evening, good afternoon from wherever you're watching me from. My name is Wamboy. Bye bye. Good night to you, Bob.